big welcome to you. This is your tarot reading for November. When I look at your spread, I'm immediately drawn to the middle card there. Three of Swords, a broken heart. Why is your heart broken? Often when I see this card, I say it's a minor arcana. Your heart doesn't have to be broken for a long time. It's easy to say that because I suffered from a broken heart for 20, 30 odd years of my life. So, I don't say it glibly. But I do get the impression that this broken heart is something a little bit different. We go to the bottom right, the recent past. We have the Page of Swords. Seeking out and looking for information. I think your heart is broken because of some information you got. Your current energy is that of the Lover's card. I don't think your heart is broken because of love. I think it's because of information. I mean, it could be love from the past, but I don't think it's this current love that's the problem at all. The future sees you going out looking for more creative solutions to things. And maybe that's because you're currently struggling a little. I think in terms of work-life balance, struggling to do what you need to do. It doesn't mean to say you won't succeed. It just means that, life is a little bit of a struggle for you. I think that's more connected to this broken heart than the broken heart being this current love, which feels very good. What would change the outcome is you learning some new skills, throwing yourself into something, throwing yourself into learning. But, to my mind, you emerge out of this very well. You emerge out of it, the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Love. Something of a fool for love, but the energies, the cards recently have been saying to me, look, you're not going to find happiness without taking these risks, and you will be hurt sometimes by people. But if you can be more of a fool for love, you will be happier. So I don't think the reading's a bad reading at all, but we've got to get to the bottom of it, haven't we, Leo? Not least as I'm a Leo. So stick with me and we'll try and work out what it all means. Now, what dominates this reading is this Three of Swords, and there's no pretending, it's a broken heart. But I honestly don't get the feeling that it's about love. I think it's about ideas or something like that. If it is about love, it's not about your actual loved ones, people you love, somebody you love, but not, you not your partner. Or I don't feel it is. Sorry about this. I'm a Leo, and I can't believe that it's about my partner, you see. But I can believe it's about other people that I've loved in the past. But it could be about ideas. But it is a broken heart, and it does run through it, and it does therefore dominate the reading. Now, I always say that it's a minor arcana, so it shouldn't last, and I don't think it does last. But I suffered from a broken heart for some 30 years, so I don't take it lightly. I don't want you to think I do. But I think this broken heart does dominate your feelings this month. Now, we don't know why your heart is broken. We can only speculate at this moment in time. I think we'll get to it, but when I look at the past, I see this Page of Swords, you going out and seeking information. And I think it's this information that's broken your heart. Now, to put it into context, as I say, I'm a Leo, so I'll tell you about me. And that is, there are two bits of information that I've known for a long time. But Vera, an astrologer from Georgia, she has a very good channel. It's worth checking out if you can understand Bahasa Indonesia. I went to see Vera, and she did my birth chart. And I've pulled my birth chart before, but Vera came up with something very interesting. She said that my life had been dominated by bad childhood. Now, I don't believe I actually had a bad childhood, but I've always believed my mother to be a narcissist, and when she died, I got confirmation of it. But I think Vera was saying that it had had a more dramatic effect on my life than I care to believe. I'm thinking about it, I'm sure she's true. And I also asked her if my son was actually mine, and she said no, he wasn't. And again, I've suspected that. I mean, he's estranged to me now, and to be honest, it's quite a relief to know that he's not mine, because of, he's estranged from me, he doesn't want anything to do with me. Well, it sort of explains it if his mother's told him that he's not mine. So, it's a sort of sense of relief getting this information. Both, to a certain degree, have broken my heart, but both are for the best. So I believe it's something like that. Now, I'm not saying I don't suppose many people have got the same circumstances as me, but it's that sort of thing that I'm thinking of. Energy, we have the Lovers card. So clearly I can't discount that it is about your current love, but I honestly don't think it is. I actually think that it's a bit like me, that your current love is what gets you through this. Because I suppose when my mother died and my son not speaking to me, and there's more to this story than that, but basically I left the UK for the last time with my mother's funeral. That's it now. I've got no reason to go back. And it's very difficult and expensive too, And so my life is here in Indonesia with my wife. And things aren't great for me in Indonesia. I'm not allowed to work, not allowed to earn money, and can't even use the bloody post office for some strange reason. So, I live up a mountain, which is quite idyllic, but we've had all sorts of problems, all sorts of problems. But I've got my wife. I've got my wife and two loving daughters, stepdaughters, but hey. So I should devote myself to the love that I've got, and I do, and I should stop thinking about the past. And that's what I'm reading into this, but we can't discount that this broken heart could be about this current love. Now, I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that your life is the web of intrigue that mine has been. But in the future, you're going out and looking for creative solutions, creative ways of dealing with things, and who could blame you, eh? Who could blame you? I'm certain this is the right thing to be doing. Maybe it's creative ways to heal this broken heart. Because although I'm saying, well, I've got my wife, I've got my two loving stepdaughters, it's very difficult to completely let go. I'm 65 years old now. And I'm having to write off 65 years, and start my life again, anew. I've been in Indonesia over 10 years. I've been with my wife and daughters more than 10 years, but nevertheless, to completely throw myself into them and know this is where I will die and know that I'll never go back to the UK. I have memories, and so you have to be a bit creative in how you move on, and I think that's really what it's telling you. To mend this broken heart, you need to be a bit creative. And you are finding life a bit of a struggle at the moment. Now, we don't quite know why. Is it because of your broken heart? It could be, think it's probably to do. It's partially to do with money. I think it's partially because of things aren't quite as you wanted them to be. I say struggle. I mean, Two of Pentacles. He's got those. He's juggling those pentacles. Must be difficult. Juggling while walking barefoot along a seashore must be very difficult. I find it difficult just to walk on a seashore barefoot. Maybe that's just me, but you're juggling with life. Doesn't mean to say you're not going to succeed, you're just juggling, and that leads to the outcome. Now, I do see the outcome as a good outcome, so it's really saying, well, probably just keep on going, keep on persisting. You're not doing anything wrong. You've just got to grin and bear it, and you will get through it. And if I think of my circumstances, my mother died over a year ago, and it's still in probate. I still don't have the money from the estate, and more so than that, I gave a year's expenses of living in Indonesia. I mean, the funeral was already paid for, but all the incidentals and all the other things, I paid out what is, to me, a year's living expenses. Something that I'd not budgeted for and can ill afford to do. And certainly, when I paid it out, I thought, well, I'll get it back quickly from the estate, but, hey. So, yeah, life isn't that easy. To a certain degree, it's in my mind because I refuse to spend money that I don't have. Surely the probate will be settled, and surely I will get the money. And I guess most people would be out spending it, but not me. I'm not like that. I've been in business too long. Change the outcome, and probably it's saying take your mind off it, is to learn a new skill, and I think there's no harm in it. But I think the outcome's actually a good outcome, so maybe you don't need to do this. But if you can throw yourself into something, take your mind off your broken heart, your worries, then that's surely a good thing, isn't it? And the world is changing, so learning new skills for the new world is no bad thing. To a certain degree I learned gardening, to a certain degree I learned a bit of plumbing, but I'm not very good at either. But they're things that maybe we're going to need. I certainly I can identify herbal plants, so they're useful skills, I suppose, and the more I learn about them, I guess the better it is. Now, I've said the outcome isn't a bad outcome. It's the Knight of Cups. But I've realised it's a very good outcome. Because if you remember, what dominates this reading is a broken heart. Well, this is you overcoming the broken heart. This is you full of love. Now, I've always been like this. I've always worn my heart on my sleeve, been full of love. Yes, I've probably not been that faithful in the past. I will be in future, don't get me wrong, but not been that faithful in the past. But to a certain degree, I'm not making excuses, but I'm one of those people that attracts others. And now I'm an old man I've even got a big white beard now, so I don't know how many people I'd attract now. But, I've always attracted others, and I don't know as I'm naughty as can't resist, but a natural born lover. I've always been that, and always worn my heart on my sleeve, and that's what the Knight is. Well, he's clearly overcome the broken heart. I mean, that's the great thing. The other thing I'd say is the changes that are going on in the world. I'm getting messages from the universe that we should be like this. Now, he is a bit of a fool for love, and he does get taken for a ride, but the universe is saying, look, get rid of your barriers, get rid of these things that make you put up barriers to people, and just start loving and just start trying to be open and honest with everybody, because that's how the world is changing. So I do see this incredibly positively. But let's get a bit more on that broken heart. Let's find out what this broken heart is about. And the first card we get is the King of Pentacles. Somebody that's good with money. How strange. So is it to do with money? The second card is the Four of Cups. A little bit of a pessimistic view of things. And the final card is the Sun card. Wonderful, wonderful blessings. Couldn't be better. So it's suggesting that this broken heart is necessary to unlock something much more important. First card of clarity, King of Pentacles. This is somebody that's good with money. This is somebody that's sophisticated with money. Somebody that you can trust on money issues. And I suppose that was me. Am I mourning the fact that I can't earn money in Indonesia? You know, I was a very successful business person. I had money, I had status, and I gave it all up to be here. And I suppose I've never fully come to terms with it. Or could it be something like the fact that I'm still waiting on my mum's or my parents' estate, you know? I think it's something like that. It's something that's upsetting you about money. And that's, I think, why you're struggling a little. I don't think you're really actually unhappy because, you know, you end up having resolved it. But I think these are maybe deep-rooted subconscious psychological issues that we're dealing with here. And I think overall you're taking a slightly pessimistic view of things, you know. I mean, the truth is, you know, my parents' estate will be released. You know, most people would be busy spending it. I'm still waiting to find out what my pensions will be, because, of course, they're about a year's time. But, you know, I might be pleasantly surprised about that even. Because I've got private pensions as well, you know. So I'm probably quite well off, and I'm just being overly cautious, as is me, as is the way I am. So I think, you know, you're a bit glass half empty, whereas half full, you know, and yeah, I should be enjoying life more. I should be enjoying, even though I didn't plan to retire when I came to Indonesia, I should be enjoying my retirement a bit more, you know, because maybe in a few years' time I won't be able to get around hardly. So maybe I should take more advantage of it while I can, you know, and I think that's what the message is. And, you know, when I saw that heartbreak, I just felt that it wasn't that bad, you know, it was something important. And we've got the Sun card here, multiple blessings. So it's sort of suggesting to me you had to feel this heartbreak to release yourself from whatever it is, you know, be it my mother, my son, the UK, the thought of working again, you know, whatever. I've got to get away from those burdens, because it doesn't matter. Why am I beating myself up about not working? You know, I'm not going to work. And I've almost certainly got more than enough money, you know, so why am I guess it's the Protestant work ethic, I don't know. I've been brought up to work, you know. Brought up to save and to work, and, you know, what's the end of your life for but to spend money, eh? Yeah, anyway. I'm going to get multiple blessings as well, so there's a lot to look forward to, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, what an interesting spread. Some information comes to you. You've been seeking out this information, but this information comes to you, and as a result of it, you've got a broken heart. Now, I don't think it's necessarily about love. In fact, I think you've got a loved one that helps you to overcome this. It could be people that you've loved in the past, though. Some information comes, and it's broken your heart, and it does relate to money in some shape or form. I'm not too certain how it relates to money, but it does relate to money. But I think you're taking a somewhat pessimistic view about this money, and that things are nothing like as bad as you think. In fact, I think the broken heart is necessary for you to move on and find true happiness. And you'll find this happiness by being creative. And it will come to you. And as a result of being creative and finding this happiness, you're going to step into your own as, a true lover. Someone who wears your heart on your sleeve. Yes, you will be taken advantage of occasionally, but you will be happy. You will be this wonderful, wonderful love, and love will exude from you, and that's why you're going to be blessed. And now, if you sort of throw yourself into maybe learning something or doing something new, maybe none of this will happen. And so I think you need to go with it. You certainly are struggling a little at the moment, and that's probably related to money. But I think you're just being told, be guided by love and submit, and everything will flow.